Welcome back. Um, my name's Tina Jones, and I'm up here to introduce our next speaker, Christian Knuettel, who is with the American Red Cross. American Red Cross has worked with us for many, many years in a variety of different areas, everything from, emergency preparedness and in workplaces to disaster response and recovery, which they have a wide mission. So I'm going to turn it over to Christian to talk a little bit about what they do.
Thank you, Tina. Good morning, everyone. First of all, it's a great pleasure to be here. I heard about this a couple months ago and wanted to make sure that I was a part of it. And obviously, the Red Cross be able to present that. I think the Workers' Memorial Expo is a wonderful event, and I believe it is the first year of many years to come. Obviously, in support of those fallen, given the circumstances of Baltimore just several weeks ago, I think it's a perfect time to have this type of event, right? But it's a great time for the Red Cross too, to be able to educate, those laborers and union workers to better identify and better, remedy any type of injury or any type of event that might need assistance. That being said, again, my name is Christian, as Tina said before. I came to the Red Cross a year and a half ago and worked with their training services department. Prior to that, I was actually in the military, so I served with the Army. I was an air assault instructor, rappel master for the military for several years, and we had 2-week courses, and they were very arduous. They were very grueling. They were physically and mentally challenging, right? Now, during these 2-week courses that were physically demanding, we'd have individuals that would drop out of heat exhaustion or broken extremities, or a few times we did have cardiac arrest. We depended very much so on our medics. So the message was loud and clear, at a very early age anyway, too, in the military, exactly how imperative it was to be properly trained. That being said, there were maybe 250, 500 students per class. So our medics couldn't be everywhere at once and depended on the instructors to be or have the knowledge and the capacity to be able to help, or just at least help for the moments that matter. But now I'm going to get to a slide deck for that purpose as well. That's going to better identify that purpose. I came to the Red Cross, like I said, a year and a half ago, and it was a blessing in disguise. I had worked with them while in the military and understood the mission, understood the message, and what a wonderful one it has been. Now, that being said, when I came into the Red Cross, I knew about blood services. I knew about the training services, but just much more. There's more of a dynamic. It's a large platform. We got home and fire campaign, disaster relief. We respond to more than 62,000 disasters, large and small. Blood services, 6.6 million units of blood and blood products. Obviously, we service to the armed forces. Life-saving skills, over 5 million last year. And I think a big majority of that was the Damar Hamlin incident with Buffalo during a January NFL football event. So it did, unfortunately, maybe tragedies that do happen. It's more of an eye-opener to the public to realize exactly that we do need to be trained. And these unfortunate events is, again, an eye-opener and helps us to better understand what we need to be doing. Why we train. Now, I think a lot of the reasons that we train obviously are to be ready for those types of scenarios. But I think as far as the organizations that I work with, there's some compliance issues. There's obviously federal, state, and local regulations. But I think a majority of the time, too, and I've noticed this with the customers that I service, a lot of these tragedies maybe don't happen in the workplace. They happen at your child's soccer or football game, or maybe a after-school event, or it could be while out for a run. I'm an avid runner, so I've been out numerous times where I've had individuals drop of heat exhaustion. So being able to help them and be able to remedy that is a great scenario too, and something that we don't often think of. Increasing employee morale is another one that I'll make mention of here too. It does bring the group together. I think it's a great sense of camaraderie within the group to really identify exactly what safety protocols and what that looks like, and what we're trying to endorse obviously the message of occupational safety. Our commitment. I'll tell you this. When I came to the Red Cross last year, I figured everything was done fully in person. You had a 3.5 hour course, and that was it. We've become a little bit more, been able to pivot a little bit more wisely. We understand that there are some circumstances, especially with COVID in mind, that we have introduced a fully virtual course too for our first aid, CPR, and AED course. This would be like a $35 charge. We'd send the mannequin to you, and we would actually have an instructor virtually assess you and certify you. The option that I took was a blended option. That's our most popular right now. I'm too fidgety to be behind a desk or sitting down for more than an hour. This is an hour and a half that you would take online, and then the other hour and a half would be instructor certification. And then obviously the one that I had mentioned first would be our fully in-person course. And that's typically about an hour and a half long. So this is what I was talking about before, Until Help Arrives. This is a new course that we came out with last year. And it's a non-certification course, so it is completely done online. It is 90 minutes. You will do the compression-only CPR, AED, choking, bleeding evacuation, education, and opioid overdose. This is more in retrospect. If you don't have 3.5 hours to put into a course, at least you're going to be prepared until help arrives, whether it's applying a tourniquet or obviously calling 911 and until the authorities arrive. Optional skill boosts. And I believe this is something that OSHA is actually certified now too. So if you get the CPR, first aid, and AED, it is required now to take one of these, as you see here, a skill boost course in order to actually be completely certified. And this is anaphylaxis, epinephrine, asthma and quick relief medication, life-threatening bleeding and tourniquet application, and opioid overdose, and head, neck, muscle, bone, and joint injuries. This is just a brief list. Now, I don't think a lot of you know, but a lot of our courses are actually handled online, and that's a lot more of a convenient matter for those who aren't able to take an in-person course. This is just a brief list, and we keep growing on this and expanding on this every year. I think bloodborne pathogens right now and the opioid overdose training and educational is one of our prominent to date. I have a brief video that we came out last year, and this is after the Damar Hamlin incident that I believe you would be quite interested in. I think we have volume on here. All right, great video, and it's something I wanted to share at the end of my presentation. I'll tell you what, we only have one life to give, and I think it's so important. Being in the military is a big retrospect from my standpoint to really be prepared. I've been in some situations, whether it was deployment or in the field for the air assault schools that we conducted, and to be able to have the confidence to go in there and the bravery to really understand what that looks like and how to save a life is so important. So I think it would behoove all of us to just take a moment, a brief moment in your life, look at some of these Red Cross Learning Online classes. You don't have to be completely certified. That's obviously recommended, but at least take one of the 90-minute online courses just so you're prepared for some of those important scenarios or situations or challenging situations that you could save a life until help arrives. I thank you for your time. It's been a long time since I gave a presentation, so this has been fantastic, and I really enjoyed doing it in front of all of you guys today. So good luck at the rest of the expo, and Godspeed.